What's up, everybody? I'm Elizabeth Muller, founder of Bloom Creative Company. Thanks for stopping by the YouTube channel today. Before we jump into this video's training, I want to tell you about our community over here at Bloom. It's a monthly subscription to even more Squarespace trainings on getting started, marketing, SEO, and strategy. And as a thank you for being here, in the notes below, click on the link to get your free guide on how to turn your website into a client generator. As always, thanks for being here. Let's dive in. So much has changed since the last time that I did a tutorial on content blocks. So this is more of a follow-up. All of the content blocks are the same as before. They are just laid out a little bit differently when it comes to editing them, and kind of some of them have different features too. So just like last time, we're going to do a 3-part series going through every single content block, how to use them and set them up and thrive in your website with them. So this is part 1. We'll do a part 2 and 3, but let's start diving in here. We're going to start by creating a new page. So under the not link, since this is my live website, I do not want to make a test page under my main navigation here with this plus. So under the not linked, I hit the plus and start with the blank page. Now I already did this. I have a YouTube page here already. So we're going to start here. Once you click edit, it's going to bring up full screen, and this is where you can start adding your sections. So you can start a page by a blank page or a page layout. There's different collections, and we'll do an updated video. We have past videos on this already. They have changed a little bit since we've recorded those, so we'll have to roll out a whole new fleet of videos on those. But for now, we're going to start with a blank page and not a page layout. We have other videos as well, and we'll link all these videos in the notes below. How to use the page layouts and make a website essentially super quick. But right now we're starting with a blank page, clicking the edit. We're going to add a section. Now you get templates that pull up again, but we're just going to start blank so we can go through each one of these content blocks. So by default, it starts a text block, and you can put your text in, and there are different ways to edit the text. You can have a heading and then various sizes for your headings, and then paragraphs and various sizes for your paragraphs in here too. And you can update your text by making it bold, italicized. There is a new feature coming where you will be able to underline it and strike through. So stand by for that. But as far as your text block, by default, it has it here, or you can hit this plus. So anytime you want to add a new content block of any sort, and a content block puts the design on the page for you, whether it's text, images, video, a scheduler. I mean, the list goes on. You'll see here in a second that there are just so many different blocks that you can add onto your site, and the whole point is to be drag and drop. So if I hit this plus, it's going to pull up all these different blocks, content blocks that we can put in. So right now we're starting with text, and if I click it, it will put another text block in there. So now I have 2. Now the cool thing about these content blocks and what makes Squarespace so kind of easy to create your own design, you can grab it and pick it up and move it around. So if I wanted text blocks next to a text block, this blue line will show you where it's going to go. And as we add more content blocks, you'll see what I mean about moving things around. But right now you have a text and a text. And I'm just going to make it the same size. Now you have 2 right next to each other. Now you can change the size and the width of this section, but we'll do that in another video. But that would be editing the section here, and you can change the amount of white space above and below and from side to side. So if I made it small, you could see how it kind of condensed everything on the page. Now let's keep moving along. So I'm gonna hit the plus again. It doesn't matter which plus you hit, it's going to pop up this content selection here. So you can, like, let's say we wanted to add an image next. Right below here, you can click the plus and click image, and it'll put it right below the text. Or you can click any plus, take an image, click and hold, and you can drag it anywhere. So wherever this blue line shows up is where that image is going to go. Right now it would be directly in the middle of the 2 texts. It would be above this image, below this text. So if I put it in the middle here, now I have an image in the middle of the page. So when we do our image blocks, you can add an image. If you click this, it will pull up your computer hard drive, and you can pick from a downloaded image on your desktop, wherever you keep your images, or you can search for an image. So you can go through your library here. So these are all images that I've uploaded into my website at some point. And then these are free images from Unsplash, and then premium images that you can pay for. Now, these free images are royalty free and completely free, so make a note that we have another video in our repertoire here of how to find images that are free and royalty free. So essentially you will not get sued using them, and they're free to use. So check out that video, but let's just pick an image for now. We're going to add it. It's going to upload. Do not click out of this box while this square is moving. It is loading. If you click out, you're going to have to start it all over again. So we'll wait here. You can have a caption on the image. You can link the image. So if you wanted to link this image to a different page in your site or a different URL, you will click this gear. So right here you click, all the pages in your site will pop up, so you can link it to another page. You can link it to another web address, which you always want to open it up in a new window. Don't bounce the traffic that you worked so hard for off of your site. You can add a PDF file. So here's a bunch of my lead magnets here, which, surprise, surprise, another video on that. We'll link it below, how to put a lead magnet in to send directly or automatically to your opt-ins. You can have someone email you or phone. This works great on mobile where they can contact you right away. You want to change the file name just for your SEO purposes. I would probably do like Bloom and Squarespace. This is a great organic way to be more visible in search engines. So I'm just going to click out here. Now you'll see that I have this block, and if you want it, you know, let's say we change our mind, we want to put it at the top. This blue line goes across the top, and now our image is full screen. Let's say we want to make it a little smaller. So we'll click on the image, and this circle will pop up, and if you drag it, you can make your image a little smaller. Now, one thing that you want to be mindful of is your mobile view. So if you click your mobile preview, you can always take a peek at how it looks on mobile. So that is our image block. Let's go down the line here. Button. So if we want it across the bottom, text, just right here, change the text, and then same linking gear. You can link to a page, web address, file, email, or phone. Same deal. And then over here on design, you can make the button size small, medium, or large. You can change the justification to wherever you need it on the site. Video, you can pull a YouTube or a Vimeo link right here. Just paste it here. You can have a custom thumbnail, which means you can have an image instead of the video, instead of just having the video showing a certain spot that is paused or frozen, you can have an actual thumbnail. So for example, you can go in Canva and create a thumbnail image that is uniform across all of your videos, for example, and then you can have the captions on or off. And then if you don't want a content block, you just come over here and delete it. So let's keep moving down. We have a form. So this is your contact form. This is collecting information form, RSVP, sign up, whatever you need to collect information for. So you want to always title the form. So if this is on my contact page, I would name it contact form, because these are going to go into your email, and if it just says new form, you're not going to know what page it came from. If you have multiple forms across multiple pages and they all have the same contact info, you're not going to know which form is, which one is performing better. So it's kind of like an A/B test in a way. You can see what's working best. So always name your form. Button text, you can change it. Edit form field. So this is where you can delete what's there if you don't want the message or the subject or the email, and this is where you can add. So all of these different fields are available for you to use. Let's say you wanted a phone number, you just click it and then it goes right there. So if you click further into each of these fields, you can label them. So if I want first name, for example, a description, add, name here, and then you can make it required or not. And then under the number, same thing. You can have a placeholder text. So if you want the number in a certain way, for depending on what country you are, anything like that. Description, area code first, just for example, just so you can see, you know, what you can do. You can make it required, which puts asterisks there. If we go back, here's your post submit. So once they fill it out, they can either see a message or you can redirect them to another page on your site. So if it's an inquiry for a sales call or something, and you want to push them maybe to the About page so they can get to know you, prompt them to the next step, more content, this is where you could redirect URL. Under Design, you can have the button move. That's basically it. You can make it a light box, which means they would open the form through a button, and you can change the name here, which is really neat. So it saves a lot of space. So if you have a form with a bunch of questions, you could always go in and make this a light box. And because, for example, on mobile, it would take forever to scroll, right? Especially if it's just a form embedded in a page. So I would make it a light box. So if they are interested in it, it pops up, and then they're willing to take the steps. Storage, this is where you want to connect it to your email or any of your email providers here. Really cool, you can do a reCAPTCHA as well, and you'd have to have the site key and the secret key. Moving on down, Spacer. So this is neat, you can break up content in your site. So if I scroll up here and I want more space between this image and this text, I put the spacer here and I can just move it side to side. Same with the text here, and the, oh, we already covered that. You can just move the space bar around just to break up content so things aren't too squished together. Maybe you want to put a spacer at the edge here so the text only flows in this portion halfway through the image. Whatever creative design ideas you have, spacers are a really good tool to help accomplish those. Audio, this is where you can put a podcast or a music file here. You just uploaded an MP3 here. You can add a title and an author and artist. Podcasting here, you can add more information. And then design, not too much going on here, but you can just change, the type, and then you can change the color, but that's about it. Newsletter, this is super important. This is where you are going to get your opt-ins. Again, you want to create a form name here just to make sure that you know what the opt-in is for. So if you have different lead magnets or different types of newsletters, you want to make sure that you have the form name here just so you can make sure you're tracking where people are coming from. Here's your title that shows up on the page. In your description, you can require the name. If you address people by name on the emails that you send out, you can always take out the disclaimer. You can change the button, your alignment left, center, or right, and then you can have the fields float, which if I put the name field, you'll see more of a difference here. They go across the page, or you can have them stacked here in the layout. Storage, your newsletter block will not show up on your website if you do not have a place of storage. It will show up in a red box, and then when your site is live, it will not show up at all. So you want to pick your mailing list, if it's Squarespace campaigns, or you can connect other services down here. The Google Drive will put it into a spreadsheet for you. You can do a verification here with the reCAPTCHA again, and then again, here's your post submit. So if you want to push them to other content, so say it's a lead magnet and you want to push them to that page with a download, this is where you can redirect them here under the URL. So there is your newsletter block. Let's do one more before we wrap up this part one with a line. So same with your spacer, you can move your line anywhere and help break up content wherever you need to. And if you want the line shorter, just take a spacer and put it on either side of the line. That's my kind of quick fix for the line. And then you can have your, your text title. Maybe this is a title, and you just want to emphasize with that line, and you've got a short line under there. However you want it to go. All right, that wraps up part one of Content Blocks 101. Thanks again for joining us. Let us know in the comments below if you have any training requests. We'd love to help you. And head over to our website to join our community and get even more trainings on Squarespace. Thanks again for being here. I'm Elizabeth Moeller, founder of Bloom Creative Company.